Audio test, audio test. Audio test, audio test. Sounds good. Welcome all. We're just still getting set up here. Stream is obviously live and going on. I'm going to mute my thing over there so you don't get the echo. And yeah, we're just getting prepared here. Should have a race going soon. We'll go ahead and follow Larry while we're waiting. Nice. All right, so welcome folks to our relegation race here today. It should be an interesting one. All these drivers are very good drivers. They're all very much comparable to one another. I would say the outlier, probably the potential slowest driver of the pack, is probably going to be Deeds, just because he has struggled with the Group 3 cars in the previous season. Dirksey is an experienced Group 3 driver. Larry seems very capable on the Group 3. Izzy had a top podium finish at Le Mans, very capable in Group 3. Arcane is definitely going to be showing up today to show what he can do. I'm very much looking forward to it. This should be a tight race. My favorites today are probably going to be Larry and Izzy and Arcane. Probably those top three, I would say, are going to be the three primary contenders for today's race. Let's see if we can find somebody to follow for a tour around the track here. We'll stick with Izzy. So Izzy is coming into the back straight out of turn 17. Let's see if he gets a real lap here. They have not started qualifying yet. Yeah, right? Thank you, audience members. Definitely got Larry's usual cheerleading party in the chat. So yes, that was turn 1. Sorry, I meant to go through the turns here. We come into the death chicane. Not quite as difficult this direction as the other direction, but still treacherous. 2 and 3 right here into 4 and 5. You really want to catch those curves as much as you can. This is going to be the curve that makes or breaks racers today. Turn 6. This is a really difficult corner. You have to slow down and be incredibly patient into the back straight. Come around, there's a little kink here that counts as 7 right there. And then coming into this part, you got to let off the throttle into 8, kind of coast through this section. Correction into 9, and then back over into 10. These kind of idle swinging S's. Pretty difficult place on the track. Very easy to over accelerate and just go wide. A nice braking there into 12. Oh, and we're back. Looks like we're probably going to start qualifying soon. We are past time, so I would imagine it will begin any moment. Yes, the top two go to, I'm going to have to remember to say this now, GTD Pro and GTD are the two separators, not Group 3 and Group 4. If I say Group 4, I mean GTD. That's going to be a tongue twister for me all day. And Pro was Group 3 at this point. So I may revert and mention the previous thing here. I'm getting a check-in. So I may call it by the wrong things, but it is GTD and GTD Pro today. The Pro racers being the top-end drivers. Top two go to Pro. Bottom three stay in GTD. Looks like we got about 30 seconds until qualifying will begin. Getting a little chats from Mercury in the background. Got a direct line to Mercury. In case anything goes down, in case we have any incidents or racing steward decisions, I will get them in the DMs and get them on the broadcast as soon as I can. I guess we're just going to sit here and wait for qualifying to begin. I will join you back in a moment. How many can go through? What do you mean? Do you mean to the next round? Two. Top two go into GTD Pro, and everyone else goes into GTD. This looks like qualifying has begun. We have 18 people watching. Holy goodness. Qualifying is about to begin. Looks like they're going to jump out of the track. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the cars and get to know our drivers as they do their opening outlap, because it doesn't count for time. Larry driving the Porsche today. Very nice livery. Looks like he's going to go to Valhalla. A very slick-looking Porsche. Larry, I think, is our favorite today to progress. He is a very skilled driver. Showed it in Group 4. Has driven Group 3 before. Look at him do that death chicane. Easy peasy. Arcane in the Ferrari today. Or, sorry, the Lamborghini. No, the Ferrari. My schmexy voice. Sorry, not the Lambo. There is no Lambo today, just the Ferrari and the DHL Ferrari. I think, honestly, the Ferrari would have been my pick had I been in this race today. I think the Ferrari is, by and large, the best car of this group. The Porsche is not far behind. Me and the Porsche just don't get along quite as well as me and the Ferrari do. So, is he also rocking the Porsche? That makes sense. That's what he drove in Group 3. He did quite well. Looks like he's just kind of sitting back here, getting some space. Dirksey also in the Porsche today. Porsche definitely the popular choice. Not quite sure what that livery is. Grain belt. I'm not sure. It must be an alcohol of some kind. Some kind of grain alcohol, perhaps. I'm not familiar with that brand. And Deeds also rocking the Porsche. So everyone is in the Porsche today, except for Arcane in the Ferrari. Let's see if that ends up being a help or a hindrance. I like his little X'd out GT4 logo on the top there. No more GT4. It is GT3 from here on out. Gonna have to test your metal for sure. So this is a hot lap. They have completed the first lap, and they are going around hot. Arcane and Larry close. Arcane trying to see maybe he can get some of that draft from behind Larry as he goes around. Maybe he can improve his pole position. Doesn't want the space, wants that draft. Izzy and Dirksey, on the other hand, yeah, you're going to have to go to the Discord to find him. Oh, Dirksey loses it through the death chicane. That's going to definitely hurt his qualifying time on this lap. He's going to have to go around again, see if he can get a good time. Through those tight S's, Arcane has had a lot of practice this morning. Him and Dirksey have been practicing all morning, it looks like. So he's definitely comfortable rocking that Ferrari. Of the standings, the drivers Dirksy, Izzy, and Timid are our previous Group 3 driver candidates, and the two call-ups from Group 4 are Larry and Arcane. Now, there is no more Group 4, obviously, after this season. It's all GT3, so... And, of course, Rue got the pass over relegation race. Larry currently has the fastest time of 1:39.6. That is a real good time, folks. I ran a bunch of laps here myself. I had difficulty cracking anywhere close to 1:39, so that is a great time. Ooh, Izzy takes it over by 6/1000ths of a second. Wow. We are going to have a great race today, it looks like, folks. That is some really close splits. You know, 3/10 separate the top three drivers. It could really go any way today. Larry putting the hammer down. He wants that fastest lap back. With only 6/1000ths of a second separating. He's only 85/1000ths back right now. He's still in the hunt for that fastest lap. He just has to have a good exit off the last corner. And anything can happen. Out of 16 is the real crucial one. If you can get a good exit out of 16, you're set up all the way down the straight. This is 15, and this is 16. That's as good as exit as you can hope for. Let's see if he got it back. He's revving these gears way out. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Oh, 2/10ths back. Doesn't quite have it. The tires are starting to go at this point. I wonder if anybody decides to... I would imagine with half the time to go, somebody will pit and grab a fresh set of tires at some point here. Make 2 more quick laps around. Dirksy says sets a fastest lap for him. Stick with our current pole position leader through the death chicane into treacherous turn 6. I really hate this corner. Gotta be patient, and go! Izzy has jumped back to the pits. Looks like he's just saying, time to get some fresh tires, let's try again. Hey Victor, how you doing? I haven't seen him in a while. So Izzy is on an outlap. Arcane is on an outlap. Dirksy hopefully pits this lap. He can get a shot here. If he pits, just comes in for just tires, no fuel, runs the light gas tank, he can get faster times. Let's see if he comes in for a pit here. Oh no, I would have pit there for sure. Larry probably could have stayed to pit in his last entry as well. Ooh, Dirksy has set a top 3 time now, beating out Arcane by 1/10 of a second. Should be an exciting one. We have about 2.5 minutes left of qualifying time here. Arcane on an outlap. Dirksy's still out there pushing that car hard. Larry has come up on Deeds. That could be a factor here for him trying to retake fastest lap. A little bit of traffic in front of him. Nobody opted to use the AMG or the Renault today. It's MR all day long. Larry tentative through the death chicane on his outlap. Doesn't want to get any damage on the car. Wants to keep these tires as warm as he possibly can get them. Alright, looks like Izzy is going to begin probably his last attempt at a final fastest lap. He might just have time for 2. It'll be close. We'll have a couple seconds potentially to spare to make another lap around. Larry's only going to get 1 lap in again after this outlap himself. Alright, now if... it's probably too late for Dirksy at this point. He cannot pit and get new tires and get a fastest lap attempt. He's going to run out of time. Even if he just puts tires on here, he will not have enough time to go around twice. So he will miss out on his opportunity to get a low fuel fastest lap attempt. That is a shame. He should have really pit the lap earlier. Let's see how Izzy's doing here. See if we can get a time split. Is he purple or not? No, 3/10 back. That's probably too much time to make up in the last couple corners. But he will have 1 more lap to attempt if he can get... He's got about 30 seconds to cross the line. Yeah, I think he can just barely make it. Maybe with 1 or 2... a couple seconds left to spare, he can have 1 more lap. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3... 2 seconds remaining. He's going to have 1 more attempt. Let's see where Larry is real quick. If he's on a purple, we'll stay with him. If he's red, we'll go back to Izzy. Oh, 1/10 purple. That's close enough. We can stay with him till the... Oh, that... Yeah, that might have just blown it. That slide around that corner might have just blown the time. Coming across here at the end. Oh, he's on an outlap. That's not going to count. Let's see what Larry can do. His last time around the line. Open the line. And not quite. Decides to pull the e-brake as he goes across the line. Looks like Izzy will be in pole position today, uncontested by 6/1000ths of a second. Doesn't get much closer than that. This is going to be a tight race. I hope we are incident free. Yeah, everybody cracking pretty much 139s. Izzy and Larry. Dirksy might just... Yeah, Dirksy also got a 139.7. Arcane 139.8. And Deeds pulling up the rear with a 148. So very strong times for all the drivers today. Arcane, maybe the Ferrari wasn't the best choice. Maybe it was a Porsche day. We'll just have to see how the race plays out. But our pole position will be Izzy, followed by Larry, Dirksy, Arcane, and Deeds. I don't believe anybody's still on the track. No, we're just waiting for the final time to kick down, and we will begin our race proper. Who's excited? Let me hear some excited noise in the chat. Let's go chat. Who's hyped for this race today? Big old woohoo from Preston. Anybody else want to shout some exuberance? Excitement noises, yes. Spam your keyboards, LFG. We will begin here very shortly. I cannot see how much time is ticking down, but I would imagine it's probably like 15 seconds, if that. It's probably 3 minutes after the 10-minute mark, so hopefully. So we'll say 13 minutes, hopefully. Clock time in the bottom left. Yes, 13 on the dot. All right, the race is about to begin. Go ahead and show the qualifying times and results here on the board. Doesn't get much closer than 6 thousandths of a second. This is going to be a great race. I'm very excited. It'll be 30 minutes. My personal recommendation, strategy-wise, would probably be something along the lines of 2 stops, or 1 stop, 2 stints of medium tires. No sense touching on the softs. It's just not worth it. They won't last long enough, in my opinion. I think you go about 15 minutes on each set of mediums. Gas tank should hold up. It's a matter of who overfills the tank at the end if they go with that strategy. Who has got the fuel marked down to exactly how much they need, because those precious tenths of a second out of the pit could really make or break the race. So this fuel choices on that one and only pit stop that we really should need for today will definitely be a factor in today's race. Who fills up all the way and who goes up to, say, maybe 80%, 75%. I'm really not sure. I haven't looked to see what the numbers would be, but I would imagine it'd be somewhere in those lines. We'll have to see what people do today. The only required tire today is the mediums. There is no hard requirement, just the mediums. So I don't think anybody will do the softs, as I said. There's no reason to do the hards. Here we go. Drop the clutch. And I'm going to do a Weibo impression. Drop the clutch and go, go, go. Arcane off the line, taking that Porsche out. Those Porsches are real slow off the line, so Arcane gets the jump. Maybe that's what he had planned all along. We'll follow Larry just behind him. We got the little camera in the bottom right corner. You can see just behind him. This seems like a great spot to be watching as they go through the death chicane coming up into treacherous turn 6. Arcane is pulling away. That gap is up to almost a second. Arcane goes way wide, wants that full exit. Larry takes it a little short, maybe defending. Not quite as good of an exit. He lost a couple tenths of a second on that exit. Arcane is just pulling away. This is what Arcane definitely wants to do. Get a gap early. Get out of that draft. Get some distance on the rest of the Porsches. Let them fight it out for second place while he just has clean open air all day long. I would say definitely getting a car that is capable of a fast acceleration was probably a good choice, given that everybody else was slow off the line in these Porsches. Notoriously slow off the line. Larry's picked up about a tenth the last Sector 3 here. Arcane holding off very well. Safety car Camzilla trail in the back. Slowly making his way around in case he's needed. Let's follow Dirksey for a while as he see if he can catch Larry. Everybody's in the slipstream from 2 back here. Yeah, Larry's just out of slip on Arcane's Ferrari. But Larry, Dirksey, and Izzy are all within about 1 or 2 tenths of each other. A little bit of lag there. Dirksey almost looked like he lost it, but it might have just been lag. It looks like Arcane might have had trouble through the death chicane. Larry did catch him quite a bit. Everybody's purple on lap 2. Larry's still a second. Hasn't quite made up any time. It looked like he did. It could have just been the braking zone, making it appear so. A gap is starting to form between Izzy and Deeds, about 6 seconds now. Deeds is really going to need to tighten it up if he wants a shot. All of them through corners. Ooh. What was that? 15 and 16. They come down the kink of 17 into the first straight. That's our fastest lap. Oh, Dirksey has fastest lap at 1:40.2. Since he's our fastest lap leader, we will give him a follow for a little while around the track, see how he is doing. I'm sure he's getting a little bit of help from Larry. Just getting pulled around the track with that slipstream. The treacherous death chicane. Looks like everyone's handling it pretty well. Everybody has a lot of practice on it, and they feel pretty confident going through it. Dirksey has formed or Larry's formed a 1 second gap, give or take, between him and Dirksey. There's also about a second between Dirksey and Izzy as they start to separate. Arcane still with just under a second of gap between him and Larry. Doing well to hold him off, not giving him any opportunities to close that gap. Speaking of fastest lap, looks like Arcane is now on one, but he has given up 4 tenths to Larry on that one corner. Which corner was that, 12? Larry picked up a whole bunch of time. Arcane maybe just a little tentative, trying to be cautious, not push the car too hard, not give away anything easy. But Larry has regained that slipstream, and he's going to be a real threat now. Two-second gap between Larry and Izzy as Izzy and Dirksey start to fight it out for position 3. Larry takes fastest lap just barely. 40.5, 40.2, about 3 tenths. That was all from that one corner. Oh, that looked very close. Larry almost caught the edge of the death chicane there. I thought for sure he was going to hit it. He made a split-second correction. Larry might be going a little too deep into the braking zone of that corner. Well, he did get the faster exit, so maybe, what do I know? Arcane through these swinging fast S's. This is probably the part of the track I struggled with the most personally when I was doing a few laps. Just hard to get that timing right. You got to really let off in an exact moment, kind of coast it through those inside curbs. Yeah, it looks like Arcane is having a little bit of trouble with corner 12. That's the second time in as many laps that he has kind of struggled to pull it out of there. But it looks like Larry didn't have greatest corner either. He gives up a couple tenths. The gap between Larry and Izzy is beginning to form now. Izzy being a little tentative through the final chicane, turn 16. We're coming in on 7 minutes. About halfway through the first stint, I would imagine, before these guys are going to consider pitting. I would imagine they're probably going to consider pitting somewhere in the range of probably about 15 minutes. That's about half the race. So I would say somewhere in that ballpark we should see people start to pit. Larry is within 3 tenths on Arcane. Let's see if we can catch what happened there. Nope, just missed it. Treacherous corner 6. They are right behind each other now. That doesn't feel like 2 tenths at all. That feels like a lot less than 2 tenths of a second. Now the pressure is on Arcane. Will this cause him to make mistakes that could give Larry the opportunity to make the overtake? It is always difficult when there's someone right behind you. Oh, Larry! Sorry, Arcane slightly off the track there. Went just a little wide. He was able to recover, keep it on the track. Doesn't get much tighter than this, folks. The fight for position 1 is real. That gap feels wrong. 2 tenths of a second. That feels like a lot less than 2 tenths of a second. They are at a half tank of gas. That fuel message is incorrect. Larry takes the lead with about 21 minutes left to go on beginning of lap 6. Arcane is going to have to battle hard to get it back. Izzy's caught up a little bit over the battling. Izzy through the dash chicane. Still catching. Has closed that gap to 1.3 seconds, 1.4 from 2. Dirksey also right there, right behind him. The group is recoalesced. Larry takes a 1 second gap on Arcane now. Just a little bit faster through turn 6, it looks like. Oh, that's a little blown. Arcane's got to get it corrected, get on the track. All right. Larry's gap has increased to 1.4. Turn 12, it turns out, is a big corner on this track. Larry picking up a lot of time on Arcane there. An additional 0.2 of a second. Again, through 15 and 16 into the back straight. 20 minutes remaining. We are 1/3 of the way into our race. Two-second gap now. Oh! And Izzy makes the pass. Let's go ahead and rewatch that overtake as they're neck and neck down the line. Just barely got ahead of him. Very close. Arcane has now dropped back to 3rd place. Right behind Izzy. This is a dangerous place to be, right behind somebody. Arcane lets off a little bit, choosing to be safe rather than sorry. And the gap up to Larry is up to 3 seconds now. Ooh, Arcane losing the back end just a little bit on that exit. The tire's starting to show their wear. Let's check out the tire wear. Everybody about equal. Looks like Arcane's front tire is a little bit better than everybody else's. All the Porsches about equal. Sorry, I'll stop jumping around. Just wanting to check everybody's tire wear. Dirksey also looking to make the move on Arcane. Will Arcane get pushed back to 4th? Started this race in the lead with that fast accelerating Ferrari. Oh, loses it. Dirksey's going to make the easy overtake there. It looks like Arcane's... Nope, I thought he was going to pit. He faked it. Losing the tires, going off into the grass just a little bit has sent Arcane into 4th place. He's got a lot of work to make it up now. Larry just running away with the lead now. 3 seconds on Izzy, who himself has about 1.5 seconds on Dirksey. Well, Arcane's closing the gap back on Dirksey. He's pushing hard now. He really wants it. After giving up 3 positions, Arcane has had enough. He's going to fight hard for these positions. No more letting off the throttle through the dash chicane. It is all go, no stop. Looks like he's going to make the overtake, maybe. Oh, it's neck and neck. Into the swinging S's of 8, 9, 10, and 11. Oh, Dirksey on the tight inside. They're fighting for every scrap of track through this high-speed, tense section of track. You need to hit these just perfect. And with having another car right behind you, it definitely compromises your line at times. You have to just kind of invent the line as you go. Oh, Dirksey got the inside position there on 12. Arcane still getting a little slidey on these exits. That back end sliding out just a little bit is definitely costing him some speed. Nobody's pitting yet. Larry goes past. Izzy goes past. Dirksey goes past. Everyone's still staying out. They want, let's say, maybe at least one more lap before they consider pitting. If these times hold up, we could be looking at anywhere between 19 and 20 total laps. That's including with pit stop. Yeah, that gap. Oh! Arcane hits the wall, trying to let up, trying to not make contact with Dirksey. That is the trouble when there's a car ahead of you and through these difficult sections of track. Sometimes you just have to, you have the pace, but the person in front of you might not, and there's just nowhere to get past them. Larry up to a 4.5 second gap on Izzy now, just running away with the lead. Izzy himself with a 2.5 second gap on Dirksey. There's a battle for third, but first and second look all but decided. These pit stops are really going to matter. Fuel is starting to get low. Pit stop is definitely imminent. How much fuel these guys have calculated to refuel is definitely going to be a factor here. Can they make it to the end? Can they stop? Can they go on just one stop? Anybody that's got to pit twice is going to be kissing this race goodbye. They're out immediately. Larry with just a little bit more fuel than Izzy. He will have to stop for less time. Larry into the pits. Izzy into the pits. Dirksey's going to stay out again. He may have been fuel saving. Wanted that additional lap, so Dirksey will take the lead. He's going to run one more before he comes in. Everybody else is in the pits. Let's see what Deeds does. Deeds is... looks like he was going to pit, but decided not to the last second or forgot about it. He's going to go around one more time as well. Maybe he just wants the prestige of being in second place for some portion of this race. Larry is out. Vince, it looks like he filled the tank. Izzy brims the tank. Arcane only with 86%, so he has made back some time with a short stop. That was vital for him to really close the gap on Izzy. That's going to give him a fighting chance. I just hope he has enough fuel to make it to the end. We have 14 minutes remaining. Dirksey looks like he's calculated his fuel spot on. He should be fine. Deeds is in danger of running out of fuel. He is considerably lower than Dirksey. And Larry begins his catch-up to Deeds on a full tank of gas. Did anybody go to soft tires? Nobody went to soft tires. Oh! What happened there? Oh, he hit the dash chicane. Arcane hit the dash chicane. It has damage to the front of the car. That's not going to help him at all in catching up that time after saving on the pit stop. He just threw it all away with a crash in the dash chicane. Unfortunate for Arcane. That's really a shame. He had looked like he had planned that out to, you know, he saved 14/10 of a second, about a second and a half just on fuel there. And loses it all in the dash chicane. What a shame. Alright, Dirksey's into the pits. He was able to easily make it around. Can Larry get there before running out of fuel? He's going to be real close. Sorry, T. Deeds, not Larry. Oh yeah, he comes in as 0. Perfectly calculated. So Larry will retake first on lap 11. Izzy's coming by. He will regain second. And it looks like Dirksey will just pop out ahead of Arcane. Had Arcane not messed up on the dash chicane, he would have been ahead of Dirksey at this point. Oh, into the grass as well. Arcane just having a rough day today. Looks like he is desperately trying to catch up to these cars and just pushing it a little too hard. There's a fine line. So he is right behind Dirksey again. Can he get the line out of these corners? He needs to get ahead of Dirksey in order to utilize his faster line through the dash chicane to get that gap back. If he can't get ahead of Dirksey, he will have to let off and just cannot get that position. So he's really got to make this overtake. He's got to get it ahead of him clean before the beginning of the next lap, really. in order to really utilize his advantage through that faster section of track. Larry's got 6.5 seconds on Izzy, almost 10 seconds on Dirksey. This is why I called Larry the favorite today. I figured it was going to be damn hard for him to get stopped. He is locked in on this Porsche. Also a fastest lap of a 140.1. Pretty good time. Not as good as qualifying. Of course, that was on the soft tires. This is on the medium. Izzy coming into turn 1. The big turn 1 hairpin. Within sight from Dirksey. And Arcane still did not get a position ahead. He's going to have to go through the death chicane behind Dirksey again. Not where he wants to be. We'll follow him again. Dirksey's just a little more tentative through this section than Arcane is. Arcane really wants to just power through this. Dirksey hit the wall. Arcane hits him. That's what I was talking about. Arcane just needs to be ahead of Dirksey through that section. If you can do it, he could get a gap on Dirksey, get a solidified third place. But being behind him, he just cannot find a spot for an overtake anywhere else on the track. Dirksey very good through that section. He's really good everywhere else on the track except that death chicane. He's just a little more tentative than the other drivers. It's definitely costing him time on first and second, but it's definitely making life difficult for Arcane. As Arcane falls back a little bit, about a second. He may have blown turn 12 again. He's struggled with that corner all day. Under 10 minutes remaining, 2/3 of the race down. Still not sure how many total laps we will have today. I'm thinking 19, with a potential for 20 for maybe the lead car. An 8-second gap between Larry and Izzy. Just astonishing driving from Larry today. He is locked in. He wants to go to pro. He wants it real bad. Izzy's like, wait for me. We can be teammates. Maybe. He also wants to go into pro. Dirksey in danger of being relegated to what used to be Group 4, but will now just be GTD. So he'll remain in a Group 3 car, but he will have a whole new group of racers to race with if he cannot close this gap to Izzy in time. It's only 2.5 seconds. It is not insurmountable. One mistake by Izzy could be enough. Will Dirksey make a mistake? With Arcane hot on his heels, still trying to get that spot back. Both drivers with hot spots and cold spots on the track that have just kind of kept them tight all race. We'll give Deeds and his Krispy Kreme a little bit of camera time here, since he has unfortunately been relegated to the back of the track all day. Deeds was a Group 4 driver in the previous season, did very, very well in that Group 4 car. Got promoted in the last relegation race. Had to drive a GT3 for the first time. And just struggled all season with it. Sorry, I had the hiccups a little bit. Struggled all season with it, and having to race Group 4 in this race, Group 3 in this race again, just wasn't really conducive for him having the best shot at really doing incredibly well. So looks like he is definitely going to go back to the previous group of drivers that he had with last season. I'm sure he'll be happy to say hello to his old friends and regain some old enemies on the track again. He will be joined again, potentially, by Arcane. Oh, did Arcane... Yeah, he hit the chicane again. Let's go ahead and just watch that real quick. Boom! Bam! Hit both walls into the death chicane. That's the brutalness of really throwing it in the death chicane. That's all but ended his race. He is now almost 6 seconds behind Dirksey. That is pretty much all she wrote for Arcane. He's not going to have an opportunity to catch back up unless somebody else makes a huge mistake. Larry up to 9 seconds on Izzy now. The race is between Dirksey and Izzy at this point. Still about 3 seconds behind. Yeah, I would like a bacon, ham, and pineapple pizza as well, chat. You can definitely save me a slice. I love me some ham and pineapple and bacon. Gotta add the bacon. So with the gaps between the drivers, again, the only real exciting moment of this race is going to be Dirksey and Izzy. About 3 second gap there. There's not too much else going on. We'll keep an eye on them on the map. Jalapenos, no thank you. A pinnacle of bacon. Yeah, I would love a pinnacle. Pinnacle. The pinnacle of bacon. So we're going to stay with our race fastest lap and race leader, 140.0. Larry set on his last lap. Very nice time. Encroaching on soft times with that pace. He is just absolutely locked in. Barbecue chicken is also really good. Gotta have bacon on that too. Gotta have bacon on all my pizza. So Larry with a substantial 10.5 second lead on Izzy, who himself has a 2.5 second lead on Dirksey, who himself has a 4.5 second lead on Arcane, who's got about 13.5 seconds on Deeds back there. Cam just chilling in the pits, maybe having a beer, since he's not going to have any action today. Doing that to get the proper lap time, since the replay tends to screw it up. So jump back, one car in back, 11 seconds now. Larry's just like, nobody is going to catch me. I am going to win this. Give it up, everybody. It is mine. 4 minutes remaining. Looks like we will likely end at the end of lap 19. Oh, Dirksey has whittled that lead down to just 2 seconds. Can he push through the death chicane? Still a little tentative. Yeah, it looks like Izzy just has a faster pace through that death chicane than Dirksey. Dirksey, probably one of the slower paces through the death chicane among the top 4 drivers. As you can see, he lost a split to Arcane and to Izzy through that section. Just hasn't been his particular section of the day. There's lots of cheers for Larry in the audience, in the chat, as he has extended that up to 12 seconds. I don't know if I'm looking forward to having to race against Larry next season. He is damn quick. He's definitely going to keep me on my toes, that's for sure. I'm sure we will see plenty of each other in the top podium positions, as long as I don't mess it up. I'm sure we will see a lot of each other. I mean, Izzy was, not that far behind me in the last race at Le Mans, and Larry's got 12.5 seconds on him here. Larry could be a definite contender next season for many podiums in the GTD Pro Series. That's just hard. GTD Pro is just hard to say over and over again. But it's looking to me like Larry, and just by this alone, he's very well going to be pushing for top podium positions in the next seasons of race. I imagine Larry will be a top draft pick as well for anybody looking for a great teammate in GTD Pro. Don't slouch on Izzy either. He will also be a strong teammate. Driving in VR, of course, and still putting down fantastic times. I think only Glovis wants to drive the Corvette next season. Be careful what you wish for is all I can say. I still would not prefer to drive that myself. You'd think you'd want to switch it up a little bit, Glovis, you know? Just, you know, drive something different. I mean, I know you really like that Vette, but you'd think you'd want to at least mix it up, you know? Maybe try a different FR car that's a little bit better on fuel. I don't want to... Oh, yeah, okay. That could be... You know the car well enough, you could just be lazy. Make your teammate test. Make him pick a car and then just run with it. That's how you lazily test. Just make your teammate do it. So 35 seconds. Looks like we will end at the end of 18, not 19. Is everybody going to make it to the lead lap? Yeah, it looks like Deed should cross the line without no trouble at all, so nobody will be a lap down. Now, we do have the Deviant Racing League draft coming up. I am drafting second to last. I know who I want first pick. Well, hopefully he is still there. Hopefully nobody snipes him out from underneath me. That would suck. Because then I'll have to go for a skill driver and just have to win the damn thing again. So time has expired. We're on the final lap. Larry with a huge, huge lead. 13.5 seconds. I had a feeling that he was going to crush it today. Looks like Dirksy has caught up to Izzy, and Arcane has caught up as well. I missed all that. Yeah, Arcane has caught up to Dirksy. Unfortunately, there's just not enough time left. Hell of a comeback, though, after at least 2 incidents in the death chicane today for Arcane. Had he not crashed out twice, he very well could have been a second-place finisher today, or at least third. Oh, it looks like he just ran out of fuel, too. He had to push a little harder than he wanted after saving to catch up. So he also ran out of fuel. Larry is our winner today. He will be promoted. Izzy will be promoted. And Dirksy, Arcane, and Deeds will all be relegated to the lower racing series of GTD. Larry and Izzy will move up to Pro and have to face the likes of me and Nismo and Glovis next season. Oh, and don't forget Rue, who got to just bypass this whole race by just winning the whole damn thing. So, a lot of new faces next season. It'll be a fantastic race and tight, competitive racing. Very much look forward to it. Congratulations to all our racers today. Fantastic, great race. We're just going to let the time play out here, show the final results, and then we will end our broadcast. I was happy to be here for you guys. I hope you had a good time listening to me. I hope I made it a little more exciting, if it wasn't exciting all on its own. We got just a 1 minute countdown here. a lot of dead time here to just wait until we can show the final time. I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic and bid everyone a fond farewell. Look forward to the draft coming up next. I'll just come back to say thank you all for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Have a good day, everybody.